I am unable to provide specific details from the linked forum thread as I do not have internet access. However, I can offer general information about electrical codes and safety regulations. These codes and regulations are designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted standard for electrical installations in the United States. It's updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Compliance with the NEC is often mandated by local jurisdictions. Understanding basic electrical principles is essential for anyone working with electricity. This includes knowledge of voltage, current, resistance, and power. Voltage is the electrical potential difference between 2 points, measured in volts. Current is the flow of electrical charge, measured in amps. Resistance is the opposition to current flow, measured in ohms. Power is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred, measured in watts. Ohm's law describes the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. It states that voltage equals current times resistance. Power can be calculated using the formula power equals voltage times current. Electrical circuits can be either direct current, or DC, or alternating current, or AC. DC circuits have a constant current flow in one direction. AC circuits have a current flow that reverses direction periodically. The frequency of AC current is measured in Hertz. In the United States, the standard frequency is 60 Hz. Common voltage levels for residential applications are 120 volts and 240 volts. Commercial and industrial applications may use higher voltages, such as 208 volts, 277 volts, and 480 volts. Wiring methods are governed by the NEC and specify the types of conductors and raceways that can be used in different applications. Conductors are materials that allow electricity to flow easily, such as copper and aluminum. Raceways are enclosures that protect conductors from damage and provide a path for them to be run. Common types of raceways include conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or IM, and flexible metal conduit, or FMC. Grounding is an essential safety measure that provides a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to trip over current protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, and prevent electrical shock. The grounding system consists of a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or water pipe, and a grounding conductor that connects the equipment to the grounding electrode. Bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. This helps to minimize voltage differences and prevent electrical shock. Overcurrent protection devices are designed to protect circuits and equipment from overloads and short circuits. Circuit breakers are resettable devices that trip open when the current exceeds a certain level. Fuses are one-time devices that melt and open the circuit when the current exceeds a certain level. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are devices that protect people from electrical shock by detecting small leakage currents to ground. GFCIs are required in wet locations, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or ASIs, are devices that protect against fires caused by arcing faults. ASIs are required in many residential circuits. Electrical safety is paramount when working with electricity. Always to energize circuits before working on them. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. Follow lockout/tagout procedures to ensure that circuits are not accidentally re-energized. Never work on electrical equipment in wet conditions. If you are not qualified to work on electrical equipment, hire a licensed electrician. Electrical inspections are conducted by qualified inspectors to ensure that electrical installations comply with the NEC and local codes. Inspections are typically required for new construction, renovations, and repairs. The inspection process involves verifying that the electrical system is installed correctly and safely. Electrical permits are often required before starting electrical work. Permits help to ensure that the work is inspected and complies with codes. The permit process typically involves submitting plans and paying a fee. Electrical codes and regulations are constantly evolving. It's important to stay up to date on the latest requirements. This can be done by attending training courses, reading industry publications, and consulting with electrical experts. Firstly, understand the relevant codes. Secondly, plan the installation carefully. Thirdly, use appropriate materials and methods. Fourthly, test the installation thoroughly. Fifthly, maintain the electrical system regularly. One should always prioritize safety when working with electricity. 2 should seek professional help when needed. 3 must stay informed about code changes. The NEC Table 310.15 provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on their size, insulation type, and temperature rating. The ampacity of a conductor is the maximum current it can carry continuously without exceeding its temperature rating. Dirting factors must be applied when conductors are installed in raceways or are exposed to high ambient temperatures. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage along a conductor due to its resistance. Voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction and reduce efficiency. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to a maximum of 5%. Short circuit current is the high current that flows during a short circuit fault. The available short circuit current at a location must be considered when selecting overcurrent protection devices. Equipment must be rated to withstand the available short circuit current. Grounding electrode conductors connect the grounding electrode to the electrical system. The size of the grounding electrode conductor is based on the size of the service entrance conductors. Equipment grounding conductors connect the metal parts of equipment to the grounding system. The size of the equipment grounding conductor is based on the size of the overcurrent protection device. Bonding jumpers are used to connect metal parts of an electrical system together. Bonding jumpers are required at service equipment, enclosures, and other locations. Surge protection devices, or SPDs, protect electrical equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning or other events. SPD are installed at the service entrance and at downstream locations. Electrical panels are enclosures that house circuit breakers or fuses. Electrical panels must be properly labeled to identify the circuits they serve. Electrical boxes are used to enclose wiring connections. Electrical boxes must be sized appropriately for the number of conductors they contain. Cable types such as non-metallic sheet cable, or NM cable, is commonly used for residential wiring. Armored cable, or AC cable, provides additional protection for conductors. Underground feeder, or UF cable, is used for underground wiring. Conduit bodies provide access to conductors and conduit runs. Conduit bodies must be sized appropriately for the number of conductors they contain. Electrical components must be listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, or all. Listed equipment has been tested and certified to meet safety standards. One must be aware of the NEC. 2 should know Ohm's law. 3 needs to understand grounding. 4 needs to test the equipment. 5 should replace old parts. The NEC Section 210.8 specifies the requirements for ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection. The NEC Section 250 covers the requirements for grounding and bonding. The NEC Section 300 covers the general requirements for wiring methods. The NEC Section 400 covers the requirements for flexible cords and cables. The NEC Section 408 covers the requirements for switchboards and panel boards. The NEC Section 430 covers the requirements for motors and motor circuits. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC for specific requirements. Electrical codes and regulations are complex and require specialized knowledge. Seek professional assistance from a qualified electrician or electrical engineer when necessary. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. If working on electrical equipment, turn off the power.